Hey folks, so we're here with Mike. Hi Mike.
Hi Barn.
How's it going?
Let's
Let's not go into that
pretty
now.
January-ish, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so good point. Thanks for bringing that up. So we're meant to be here on Solstice.
I know.
And we all know Solstice is 21st of January?
It varies, actually.
Does it?
I
Changes.
think 21st,
20th?
22nd, somewhere between 21st and 23rd because of funny elliptical orbits and things like that.
There we go. And that's why we have leap years. Anyway,
That's
enough
another
of
thing.
that.
That's a different reason.
Basically, illness.
COVID.
Illness.
I was going
COVID.
down with COVID.
Mike was taken down with COVID. You weren't really taken down, but we
I just
couldn't do it.
had a snuffle, but
Yeah.
In fact, I hadn't taken the test then. I was just feeling a bit rough, that's it.
Yeah.
Then I took the test and had COVID over Christmas.
And we thought better of it. And it was a real shame because you're going to have a big old solstice
We were going to have a
party
big
afterwards.
solstice party.
And
Yeah.
fires blazing and
Fires blazing. As it was, we were sat nice and cosy in front of the fire that evening thinking, thank God we didn't have a solstice party tonight.
well,
truth,
thanks.
Truth be known.
Well, anyway, so here we are. It's January. We're kind of mid-January, really, aren't we?
10th.
10th.
Yeah.
And we're right in the depth of winter. And
We started coming out. It's over 2 weeks now since the solstice, isn't it? If 21, 31, that's 10 days. 20 to 3 weeks after the solstice. And yesterday, when the sun was shining,
it was shining.
I really was buzzing, but it's all just closed in on us again. So
yeah. It's okay to frown. There's been a lot of rain, folks, and we had snow in between. There was like
have you got the sound effects of the stream going now? That was virtually dried up last time you were here, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it can be heard. The River Wye is very high. Our road to get here normally is just about passable still.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, we'll come back to that, but we're not going to do too much kind of wandering around the garden. We'll maybe kind of show you a little bit. Obviously it's all just a bit miserable, but
I can't believe it was only 10 weeks ago I was picking runner beans, and we just enjoyed the sunshine so much.
Did we pick runner beans?
No, we didn't. I had runner beans ready to pick.
Yes.
Yeah, it was only the last ones, but it was only 10 weeks ago. I still had runner beans.
And we had that with a cheesy sauce. Did we?
No, that was the time before when they were in full spate, but we were just hanging on to the last few runner beans. But now I'm hanging on to the last few apples, which is why we stood here leaning up against this mouldy old top.
My memory's terrible. Okay, so we're here under this algae. Do you clean this before you start your classes?
Probably not.
I hope you get those leaves off.
I'll get those leaves off.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here to look at your apples.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it over to you. Talk us through it. What's
Talk
going
us
on?
through it. I can't remember whether you filmed me picking the apples on September the 21st is when I have in my diary, when they're still...
They're just right.
They're just right, yeah, they're not, most of them haven't really ripened. And so I picked them all, put them in little boxes and put them in little paper cups and then stack them in here. I have three rows of 3 boxes. Yeah, because
how many apples is that?
So that's 108, should be 108, but there's one box where they were too big. There was only 11 in there instead of 12, so it was 107 apples.
Yeah.
And we're now down to the last 12. So every other day I put some of these ice packs in there to keep them down. Keeps them down at about 4 degrees. And there we have the last of this year's crop of apples. They've gone a bit yellow there, but it's great. And they're nice.
And you were going to give me all your last apples?
No, I wasn't. No, no. Treasure these. Yeah, you can have one.
You wouldn't
bite.
give me treasure? Oh, thank you. Really?
Am
I allowed
one
to?
for you and one for
This
for
isn't
Kath.
This isn't gonna ruin your system or anything.
I've just got to live with it, Barn.
Yeah?
I'll adapt the system. Yeah.
It's nice and firm still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to take one for Kath as well?
She can share this.
She can share that.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna have a bite though.
So I'm going to put that back in there. I've still got about half a dozen in the fridge.
Oh, that is really delicious, isn't it?
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. So that's September, October, November, December, half of January. 4.5 months.
That's great.
Apples.
Apples are great. Yeah.
And they are delicious little apples, those. Yeah.
What brand of apple is this?
It's called a Sunset. It's
So
great.
like the tree that
I'm
we've been picking.
replaying the bits of film we've done. Yeah, we were
Mm.
looking at the apple tree and looking at it back in spring. Wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, we've been right through the process of that. Yeah.
Well, we should show these guys a clip of what the sunset tree is looking like. And then
Now?
they can, yeah, they can have a
Okay.
little look. And
Yeah. Okay.
it's getting a bit dark and miserable, so
Yeah.
maybe we should get in your workshop
And then we'll
light
get in the
fire.
workshop. We'll light the fire.
Cup of
A
coffee.
little chat. Cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. We'll do
Sweet. Cool. Thanks for the coffee.
My pleasure.
It's nice to be back in here. Have we been in here since we started? We probably have,
Probably
haven't
not.
we?
This is
This
back,
is where
back
we
full
started.
Circle. This is where
In bulk.
the series commenced.
And
yeah.
we had the fire going.
We probably did,
I
'cause-
remember being a little bit too warm.
Is that right?
Maybe, I don't know. But or maybe
Well,
just...
it's quite mild today. It's actually cooler in here than it is outside there. But
I think I was just self-consciously pondering whether I was sweaty on camera. But
Oh,
I'm
I
not
see.
feeling sweaty. But that is giving off a nice
it
heat.
chucks it out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and we were just talking about this beautiful old saw,
Right. Yeah.
which you may well have noticed, because I said something along the lines of, "Oh, you use that much?" Because I was going to say like, "Oh, if you don't use it, I'll have it." But you say you do use
We
it.
do use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then, every year or two, myself or somebody else might get the urge to sharpen it even, but it's a nice, use it less and less. And I did last year. I sort of looked at getting an electric chainsaw, little electric chainsaw.
Yeah,
But
You
I
haven't
still
yet.
haven't quite got that far. No.
yeah. You can have too many machines.
You can have too many.
Electric
gadgets,
chainsaws so much nicer than petrol
Yeah.
for noise, but then that's
I
such a
I don't
lovely
use
thing.
the petrol one on the courses at all, but I could use an electric one on the courses.
But you can't really use this one person, can you?
No. That's why
Have
we
you
use
got
it
one
on
of the
courses.
one-person ones? The big.
Not a one like that. I've got the Katana Boy, the big long Japanese saw.
We've probably used that on one of the videos.
Fun, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, that was what was making me think, because I was like, I was like, where's the one that we used to use on your classes?
Yeah.
Because I was sure this wasn't the one, and you were like, oh, I think that is.
Yeah.
And now neither of us can really remember. And that reminded me earlier you were saying about, because my memory's terrible, and you were talking about watching a film with Tamsin, and she won't tell you whether you've seen it before or not, because if you've seen it, if she tells you you've seen it before, you'll be like, I don't want to watch this again, but you might not remember.
Yeah, well, we get 3/4 of the way through, and then I think maybe we have seen this before, by which time.
Yeah.
All right.
But then I was thinking, well, I've been listening to this amazing audiobook called 4,000 Weeks, and it's all about time.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I would genuinely say it's been life-changing.
Really?
I don't know whether that's just because it's the winter, but I'm really obsessed with time at the moment. And for me, that's, apart from kind of reconnecting with you, now we've moved up this way and you know, COVID has meant that we can get together, and talking about nature and your woodwork, for me, this has all been about kind of time. And yeah, I was just thinking, you know, like, you only get a certain number of seasons, right? You know, and...
In your lifetime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you get bored of them?
I don't get bored.
You don't get like,
seasons.
oh, this winter's the same as last winter and the same as the one before.
It's the rhythm of life. I've talked about this numerous times, several times on our series, about the rhythm of the pole lathe. And that's what is the magic of the pole lathe, is that rhythm up and down. And I've compared each of these seasons to where we are on the pole lathe cycle. And I was just thinking about where we are. And I'm not quite sure what the going back up bit is, where that fits in, but we're...
Because in bulk, that was a bit where it's just kind of just about to start accelerating up.
Yeah. So now we're... Yeah. I mean, that's obviously not an eighth of the cycle, but we're on when the thing's going back up again. Like when I last saw you in November, you know, I've been hovering at the bottom there, and energy goes down and things. But now I can just feel that the pole going back up ready. And then, in fact, yesterday when the sun came out, you know, I really got that feeling of spring.
Yes.
And it's Newton's second law: to each and every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And it applies to everything that I can think of, just about. And if you're going to be high and you're going to enjoy spring, and you're going to, then winter has got to be crap. And I don't know how people get on living on the equator. They're generally quite happy people, you know. So
variety
maybe
is the
that
spice
theory
of
goes
life.
out the window. But variety is the spice of life. Yeah.
See, I would say it doesn't have to be crap, but it could maybe be rest. You know, if you're doing the pole lathe analogy, your foot is pushing all the way down. It's getting, in theory, harder and harder towards the bottom.
Could be.
Ish.
Don't know.
Maybe that's not. If your pole's really good, it's maybe just giving you a steady one. Anyway, it's the rest. You have a brief period of rest at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
then you have it coming back up when it's not doing anything constructive as well. That's all part of downtime.
And you have to take your foot off the pedal.
Well,
there has to be a brief
pause.
pause.
Take your foot off, because that's important. As you will know as well as me, that you have to have enough spring in the pole to lift your leg back up again. If there's not enough spring in the pole, you actually have to lift your leg up. That's the hardest work of all. So,
well, I suppose in terms of like taking your foot off the pedal, it's more like taking your foot off the accelerator. It's saying, right, you need to stop pushing now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And
stop pushing, and then
let
it brings it
happen.
back up of its own accord.
Yeah.
And that's what's just starting to happen now this time. So if we go back to our conversation 10 months ago, 10 and a bit months ago.
In bulk, which is like the first bit of February. Yeah.
Then probably all the secrets of what we're yabbering about will be revealed, I expect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously these guys can go and watch that video next if they're that way inclined.
Well,
you could just watch it forever in the endless cycle of life.
That's right, yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously we are coming towards, well, this is the last one that we're doing.
It is.
And I was just thinking, well, so Kath won't let me have a chiming clock because I really like clocks,
Right.
and I like chiming clocks because for me, it's almost like a celebration, like another hour has passed.
Right.
And I forgot how much I enjoyed that until I listened to this audiobook. But I was just thinking, it's almost like the difference between kind of organised religion and spirituality. You've got your kind of clocks and digital time and forced calendars, which are often religious actually. And then you've got your seasons and the length of the day and the moon cycles. But it is all time. Time is life, isn't it?
I shall have to get hold of this 4,000 what?
Weeks. Yeah, so that's meant to be
what you
your
say, that's
average
a
lifespan.
Average lifespan, right.
So, I mean, I've got a lot less than that, and you've got even less.
I'll have to do a tally.
Well, and poor little Seren and Custard will have even less because they don't live as long, do they?
Well, yeah.
So one of the things that's really amazing about having a dog is that, you know, you kind of watch their whole life cycle kind of go through.
Right, yeah. It's probably 700 weeks or something for a dog, is it?
I don't know. How many weeks in a year? 52?
52.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I've really enjoyed these sessions. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really watched any of them back.
Have you not?
I don't know.
I spend all my time doing that.
Do you?
I do. Well, no, not all my time, but times it'll come in. Oh, you're not watching that bloody video again, are you?
Brilliant, brilliant. It's been so lovely to just have an excuse to spend time together, and I think that for me has been the thing with time. You know, that's why I'm so obsessed with it at the moment. Is kind of trying to get a grip of how I spend my time, really, and being able to just hang out is just a really nice thing, isn't it? It's just nice to not do anything.
I haven't really got around to that. I was just thinking, because I was high as I told you I was high as a kite yesterday when the sun came out, and I was trying to think what is it that I like in life, and almost anything, so long as I'm in the warm sun doing it.
Yeah.
And so lying down, having a nap every day. In fact, yesterday was probably about the only day in the last 12 months when I didn't have a nap. I was that high and I had to get that much done during the daylight. So I still get a great deal of satisfaction and fulfillment actually out of doing things. And so just hanging out is not really my thing, actually. No, I don't really. No. But having a snooze and, you know, relaxing with the wife is an important thing to do, and with the family and with the kids and that,
Yeah, and so when we were driving up here, I was kind of thinking, oh, what is it about Mike that's special? Because you've certainly managed to gather a lot of momentum around you, and people are really attracted to you. And so I was thinking, well, it's a large part of it is your enthusiasm. And that's all about action. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, you have mentioned a lot that about being outdoors. You are obsessed with the sun. But yeah, you're always there's always something in the background, at least, even in the dark times. There's this kind of excitement about what can be done, what there is to do. And there's been so many people I've met that have kind of benefited from that enthusiasm and joined in.
I think it's because I enjoy what I do. Yeah, you know, thinking about it, I enjoy almost anything so long as it's outside in the sun, nice warm sun. That's what I like. And so I could be sleeping, I could be working hard or whatever. And if I'm not doing that, then that's when the Newton's second law kicks in, and that's when the batteries are recharging again, ready to fire on all cylinders when the sun comes out again. It's something like that. But I put quite a lot of, I don't know about effort, but I do my best to avoid doing things I don't like, you know.
Yeah.
secret to a happy life is to don't do things you don't like, really. And I've been very fortunate in that respect that I haven't really had to do things I don't like. You know?
You're pretty good at time management, would you say?
I'm pretty obsessed with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, one of the rules is never go anywhere without carrying something with you. You know, so if there's something needs to go from here down to the house, then if I'm walking down to the house, it goes with me. You know.
That's a great rule.
Because I'm delivering these leaflets for the Green Party at the moment, and I'm down to 30 seconds here or there makes a difference. So I did actually spend about an hour out in the heavy rain the other day because I was having to do it with someone else, and this is why, to a large extent, I quite like being a one-man band, because I don't then have to consider other people and their timing. This guy had driven out, and if he'd gone home again, it would have been a big waste of his time. So that was something. But it was so awful, that it really was heaving down, and there was a puddle on the seat. Fortunately, he'd put a protective thing there, and so I'd get in the car and into this puddle of water, So we only did it for about an hour. But so I do my best to avoid things like that. And travelling time. Travelling I don't like. Partly it takes time, partly it uses diesel, which I resent, and partly it's polluting to the environment. So travelling is not a thing. That is one of the things I try to avoid.
Yeah. So and you do. So you stay at home quite a lot, but then your home, I mean, it's big. There's a lot going on. There's lots of different.
Yeah. So my travelling is entailed in walking up and down the garden a lot, or taking the dog for a walk. But
that's busy enough, right? If you take your dog for a proper walk, and I mean, you probably don't mow the lawns. Do you get your scythe out for the little lawns and pruning your trees?
Nice electric.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you got that last year, didn't you? Was it a battery one?
Yeah, because I got all these Makita drills and things, so I got a Makita mower. And So I do
not
that.
into the scythe?
Oh yeah, I do the scythe. I use that on footpaths because I haven't got a wood anymore now. So I go off and scythe the footpaths in the summer. So, at least if the courses are all alternate weeks, then I'll spend a morning or something like that. A dewy June morning scything the footpath. Again, that's heaven on earth. It's just great. And you're there, just physical effort producing something or other useful which people will appreciate. And I quite enjoy doing that when there's no one about, and I like this feeling that somebody will walk along here and people will think, oh, somebody's done that. Because I grew up watching The Lone Ranger. Who was that masked man? So
means nothing to me, I'm afraid.
No, right, okay.
I mean, I can picture the Lone Ranger. He was like a cowboy with a mask. Was he? He wore a
It
mask.
was like Superman, he wore a mask, so nobody knew who he was, So I go out scything the footpaths, and nobody knows who's done it. And
you wear a mask?
No, I don't wear. No, only when COVID's on. No, I go out there when nobody else is about, and but then I might meet a few people as well, and there's a few people who know that I'm the guy who goes out scything the paths.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing, the scythe.
It is a great thing, yeah.
Well, so you wanted to mention something.
I've got to mention this last time for all the avid viewers who watched last time and saw me talking about, I waved a bit of hazel and you said, what's that got to do with spring? Well, now you can see it already is dangling. 10th of January, and it's starting to dangle like that. But every time I watch that film back, I cringe because I was saying that these were the female bits and the little flower was the male bit.
Oh, well, and it's obvious because they're all the pollen bits, aren't they?
All their pollen,
all the yellow dust,
and the little red flower. I couldn't find a little red flower here. Females are few and far between, but I just wanted to correct that these are the male bits. I'm not that ignorant. Well, I obviously was a bit ignorant when I said that.
Whoops.
So
so when does the pollen all come off? I mean, it's getting there because they'll get a lot longer, right?
No, that's them really. This is them in just bursting out.
Okay, maybe they get a little bit longer, don't they?
Well, they might. They might.
That one's not open much.
That's what I was going to say. Sizes and everything.
Let's not go there. It's 2023. It is 2023.
It is.
Custard,
Anyway,
you
got
stop
that.
eating all those
Got
bits.
that. Done the apples.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Well, what else is there to say?
What more could one say? What more could one say? You could pan up to Neil Young up there. It's my. I don't think I had that display there this time last year actually. Got lots of pictures of the family, a few nice things. My mum with me at the top there. Yeah, Neil Young. I think it's Cannabis Day is the 20th of April. Is
Cannabis Day?
yeah.
What's that?
It also coincides with our wedding anniversary. So that actually, that date, 20th of April 2016, I have a feeling was that a significant anniversary? Can't remember now. So there we go, that's Neil Young.
Well, I had got excited because I was going to come dressed as Santa on the 21st and make you sit on my knee. I was going to make you sit on my knee, just like that. Good timing, Sarah. And then I was going to ask you to whisper in my ear what you wanted for Christmas.
Right.
And then I was like, I was going to pretend that you'd said spoon.
Oh,
and
really?
it was going to be really funny, but we'll have to save that for next solstice. Are we going to do any more filming this year or not? This is the end.
This is the end.
Yeah.
Books are finished. I just sent the last few copies of Living Wood off to the wholesalers now. So
all done.
that's my publishing career. You know, over the last 20 years, if I wanted to impress anyone, I would say I was managing director of a publishing company. But Tamsin's running with that one now, so look out for Tamsin's forthcoming book. Boy,
yeah, that's going to be a big one
when that comes out. I tell you, that's going to be really, really good.
So, well, I'm sure we'll come back and see you again soon, but thanks a lot for doing this series with us.
I've enjoyed it, Barn.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's been great fun. Yeah.
And good luck with your canvassing for the Green Party.
No, I don't do canvassing.
Is it not canvassing? What's canvassing?
Canvassing is knocking on people's doors
you're
and
leaf
talking
littering.
to them. I just deliver leaflets and usually
Leaf
run
littering?
away.
No, what's that? Leaf
Delivering
litting. Leaf
delivering
litter is in
leaflets
the woodlands, isn't
using nice little what they call polling paddles. It's the little. I can't show you, or else the Tories might discover the secret weapon. Electric bikes and polling paddles is what makes the Green Party delivery system so slick and efficient.
Right. Let's not give away all the secrets. Have we talked about this before?
We've talked about.
Is this the thing that was like a spatula?
It's like a spatula, yeah.
Yeah, but don't tell the Tories, for God's sake. Well, yeah, good luck with your leafleting.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, okay.
And
is this the end?
This is the end,
How do we wrap it up?
I'm just going to say thanks, folks, and check out the other videos. And, you know, if you're lucky enough, you might get on one of Mike's classes, not this year, but next. Get on a waiting list.
Get on the waiting list, yeah.
And see you all soon.
Farewell.
Go out and
bye-bye.
check out the sun.